What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Sip Off, where we have drinks and we talk all things basketball. We have a jam-packed show to talk to you about this week. We've had tons going on in the NBA world, the NCAA world. So let me go ahead and get my first guest on. We got Will Vogel. Hey, Will, how are you?
Doing pretty good. Hard of
Doing
hearing
pretty
on the
well.
left ear, but I'm good.
Everybody is sick. Everybody is sick this time of year.
Yeah, I'm not sick. It's just cloudy, but
Oh,
it,
okay.
it's getting better. It's getting better. At least I can hear out my right one, and I'm alive.
Very true. Very true. So, how's your week been?
uh, I've been busy working a lot. But I did get to see my UNC guys win yesterday. I wish we could have won by more because we were up a lot at half against
Mm-hmm.
Tennessee, and then we only end up winning by 8. Yes, it was a win, and Bacot and RJ and those guys played well. Um, and Tennessee lost their best player because he got hurt during the game. I think he rolled his ankle, but I wanted to win by more because we were up, I think, 20 something at half. So, but a win is a win. But we have a tough schedule coming up. We've got UConn, who is ranked. We've got Kentucky, who is ranked. And then we have Oklahoma, who is ranked. So, 3 straight tough games coming up for the Tar Heel men.
And so the Tar Heel ladies also they had a an upset this week as well. So, but you can't win them all. That's kind of how I feel about that.
Nope.
They ended up losing in a 1 point deficit to Florida Gulf Coast University. And I don't know if you remember this, but a couple years ago, Florida Gulf Coast University had a pretty decent tournament run. They had Kirsten Bell, who plays for the Vegas Aces now. She was leading that team. So she was just an amazing 3 point shooter at the time, which I'm sure she still is. But, coming off the bench in the Aces, we don't get to see her play as much as we did there at Florida Gulf Coast. So, well, let's go ahead and kind of jump into our NBA topics. So we had our matchups released and the Elite Eight of the in season tournament. So, thoughts on the NBA in season tournament?
Uh, I hate the courts. They're
You
ugly.
hate the
They're
courts.
so bad. I'm sorry, but like some of the colors are terrible. Like that middle strip where it looks like a
Right.
strip.
Yes.
Guys, you can't tell me that doesn't look like a runway at an airport. Come on, y'all.
A runway at an
Plus,
airport.
plus the courts. Hey, Jen. Um, yeah, it's cool, but it's too flashy. This may sound like an old man thing to say, but it stings the eyes with too many colors. You got blue, you got red, you got green, like too much
I kind of
vibrant
like the
colors.
courts. I think I'm gonna be honest. I like everything about the in season tournament. Everything. Like I think
Okay,
that
the only knock on is the colors are way too vibrant. But
okay.
the only main thing I hate about the court, the colors are fine. They're a
Mhm.
little too vibrant, but they're fine. That strip down the middle where it's like blue, 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 and then it goes whoop, like, come on, man, that looks like a airport runway. But other than that, it's been a success. So it's. I thought at first it was going to be a dumb idea because I'm like, why do you need an NBA champion and a in-season tournament champion? That doesn't make sense. But you know what? It's proven it's had some really, really good games, a la the other night, Warriors Kings, and other games like that. So it's definitely proved me wrong.
And so going over to the actual people that are in the Elite Eight. So I know that we had, hold on 1 second, let me look. Had it pulled up. So we got the Lakers as the 1 seed over in the West versus the Suns. And this will be between December 4th and 5th. And then we have the number 2 seed, the Kings, versus the Pelicans, the number 3 seed. So starting the starting the in-season tournament, would you have expected the Pelicans and the Kings to be there?
The Kings, yes, because they played really well last year with Sabonis. Fox is playing on like an MVP caliber level. What's up, Dom?
Yo.
You got Buddy Hield,
Dom.
and then yeah, and they're clicking. And then the Pelicans, Zion's actually healthy for once, and he's putting up crazy numbers. You got Brandon Ingram. Do you want me to do? But yeah, if someone said, "Do you expect either of these teams?" I would have expected the Kings, the Pelicans. Man, not really.
I think with the Pelicans, it was like, is Zion going to play? Is he not going to play? What's going to happen with CJ McCollum? Like,
and McCollum's coming back soon.
He is, and so that's really exciting as well. Dom, let me go ahead and introduce you real quick since we just kind of threw you on here. Everyone, this is Dom DeRubis. The reason he says no win November is because he's a Detroit man. It's been rough.
Oh, we tied it up at halftime.
Okay. Who are y'all playing?
Knicks.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
Now, last night you guys played the Lakers, right?
Yep.
How did that go?
Not well.
Not at all?
I mean, we lost again, as we've done every other day this whole month.
I want to hear Dom's thoughts on the Pelicans Kings.
All right, so sliding over to the East, in the 1 seed, we got Boston versus the Knicks. This will also be on the December 4th and the 5th. Then we have the 2 seed, the Indiana Pacers versus, that was the Bucks versus the Knicks, and then the Pacers versus the Celtics. Thoughts on these matchups?
Should I go real quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh wait, are we not doing the other West? Oh wait, we already did the West matchups. I'm sorry. Did we do both West matchups? I'm trying to think. I'm sorry.
Well, go ahead and pick.
For the other, what was the other one you said? It's Suns Lakers. I'm going to talk about that real quick before the other one. I'm sorry, I just had a brain fart. I worked all day. Suns Lakers. I can't stand the Lakers. I think Anthony Davis is overrated like crazy. I liked him when he was with New Orleans. The Suns, you got Booker, you got Durant, you got Beal. But Booker just hurt his ankle the other day, and I have him in fantasy, which makes me so mad because he is having ankle injuries every day, like all the time this season so far. As for the East matchups, who was it? Knicks versus Bucks.
Yes,
I've got the Bucks because you got Lillard, you got Middleton, you got Lopez, you got especially Giannis, who's going to lead the charge. But the Knicks have like Quickly, and you got Barrett and Randall and Mitchell Robinson. But still, give me the Bucks. For the Lakers Suns, I'm picking the Suns. For the Kings Pelicans, I'm picking the Kings. And then for the Celtics Pacers, I think that's going to be a fun series. But
right.
I got the Celtics because of depth. Because Tyrese Halliburton can't do it by himself. I think Celtics because you got Derek White, Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, Kristaps. They've got better depth up and down that lineup. So I got in the Final Four. I got Suns versus Kings, and Celtics versus Bucks.
Okay. Dom, what do you think about these matchups?
Well, let me start off by saying the whole thing is dumb.
Oh, I like everything about it. I love the in-season tournament.
The only thing that I like about it is that it reminds me vaguely of the bubble playoffs.
Right.
Yeah, I can see that.
For me, it reminds me of the WNBA Commissioner Cup, and I love the Commissioner's Cup. Whereas, okay, so how many times, y'all are football fans, how many times a year at this time of year do we hear people sit there and say basketball season doesn't start until Christmas? This eliminates that. Basketball season starts when it starts because this makes it count.
Well, if by Christmas you mean the second week of February, then I'll agree with you.
Why are you on the basketball show, bro?
I love NBA Christmas.
What are you drinking tonight? Let's talk about that.
Presently, what's it called? Kona Big Wave.
I'm trying to see it.
I'm trying to show you.
Okay. I am drinking some Josh, little red blend.
Ooh, fancy.
Yeah.
Nah.
There we go.
Be right back.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I've seen that.
It's good.
Okay. How's your week been?
Not too bad. Yeah, this whole tournament, I mean, like, fundamentally on the surface, I like the idea, but anyone that says it's anything other than a ploy just to get like two to 5 more sets of eyeballs on the NBA prior to the end of the NFL football season, like that's all it is.
Well, of course it is. I mean, but why shouldn't they? Why shouldn't they try and get people to care about the first part of the season?
Yeah, true.
So, I said, I feel like we hear all the time the basketball season doesn't start till Christmas. That's when meaningful basketball starts. And for me, and I think most of us on here, we start watching during preseason. So from the courts to everything, I love the yeah, I love the in-season tournament. I think it the only thing that I can say now that I know I'm going to get a lot of grief about this from Dom because he is a big LeBron hater. I think LeBron is on the crash course to be in the first MVP of the in-season tournament. He's going to be the champion. The Lakers are going to be the champions of the in-season tournament. And y'all know I'm not the biggest LeBron fan in the world. I acknowledge greatness, but he's always been the enemy. I only root for my teams. I do enjoy watching other players play, obviously, but I'm only rooting for my team, those Spurs. But like that man has been playing out of his mind this year. Like there is literally nothing negative you can say about it. Like if you find something negative to say about LeBron right now, you're just a complete hater. And I mean, and if that's the hill you want to die on, that's cool, because he's going to have his haters. But even me as a fan, as not a fan of LeBron, like there's nothing bad I can say. He's playing out of his mind.
You're not wrong.
Exactly.
Minus 3 days ago when they lost by 40 and he was minus 30.
Oh, I love that.
But besides that,
love that.
I mean, come on. The season is long. So, and especially long for us Spurs and Pistons fans. We're not winning shit right now.
Hey, we're tied at half. Let's go.
Dom was telling us.
I will happily trade you. God, I'll trade you Asar Thompson for Wemby right now.
No.
No.
We'll throw in Killian Hayes too. You can take Killian Hayes.
I will say Asar Thompson reminds me of a young Ron Artest.
And it's not a knock to him, but I mean, come on now, it's Wemby.
Yeah, no. I mean,
so what? Okay, here's an odd. This wasn't on our run. This wasn't on our run. Right. Well, okay. This was not on the rundown. What do you think needs to happen for each one of our two teams, the Pistons and the Spurs? What needs to happen in order for these teams to start winning ball games? Not like beating the best, but like, working your way up to 500.
Not having multiple
cut down on turnovers.
Not having multiple double-digit loss streaks in a season. God.
We can't win to save our lives. Turnovers. Okay. Because I had hoped with Detroit, when y'all went in and cleaned house with your coaching staff, I was like, Okay, so there's some changes actually happening that I agree with. But
they didn't, though. We had to throw the largest amount of millions of dollars ever at a coach just to get him to come coach here. And then we still didn't fire Dwayne Casey.
Oh, he's in the front office. That's right.
That dude, swear to God, he must have witnessed our cokehead owner like murdering someone.
Okay. All right.
I'll be back in a minute.
It doesn't. Okay, Will. That's fine. It doesn't always happen. Oh, I don't know who this year is. I don't. If you go to my page and comment, I don't know, for some reason when you're on the groups, it just does not show your name for some reason. But if you'll go to my page and comment on that feed there, we'll be able to see who you are. Let's see. In-season tournament. Hey, Nick. Games being staggered. Okay. I get that. I mean, other than that, I feel like I like the in-season tournament. So I like the separation with the courts. I think it adds a little razzle dazzle to a very long season. It's 82 games. Going back to Detroit though, and their change in coaching staff. So even though Dwayne Casey is in the front office, he's not really a part of your coaching staff, right? I think you just got to give it time. Like, okay, so we saw earlier this week, 2 days ago, Jason Kidd went off on that member of media. Did y'all see it?
Yep.
Okay, I absolutely agreed with everything he said, even as a member of media. Like, I agreed with everything he had to say. Like, it's not always going to work out the first year. Last year, Texas Rangers paid $500 million for Corey Seager and Marcus Semien, and we still finished almost last in our division. The only reason we didn't finish last is because fucking A's exist, right? Right. So, like, that's literally the only reason we didn't finish last. But almost the same roster the next year. There were some tweaks to it, obviously some to our pitching staff, but in the next year they win the World Series. So like, it's not always going to happen in that first year. First year that half a season, Kyrie gets over there to Dallas, it doesn't quite just mesh just yet, but you could see the potential there. Now, here they are. What are they still at number 2 right now in the West? Is that right?
Let me look.
Yeah, I'll look real
It
quick.
still
Sorry, if y'all hear some coughing, that's my little dog. She's sick.
Aww.
Yeah, my little boo. She's real sick, y'all. Oh,
Dallas is third.
Third. Okay, so he starts going off on this member of media talking about, what y'all can do is start publishing something positive, and oh, baby. Sorry, y'all. Yeah, my little thing. She's real sick. You want to come sit over here? Sorry, y'all.
Aww.
Kyrie ain't it, though.
You said what?
Kyrie ain't it.
What do you mean he's not it?
He is the better jump shot version of Russ and Harden. Well, equally the same with Harden on the jump shot, but he's not an integral part of a championship team.
Except he's already been one.
Right. Like I understand.
LeBron has one less ring without him. Period.
True.
Period.
That was back then, though.
yes. So,
yeah,
but the other two guys never touched a ring or got close to touching a ring. So I just want to give. I'm not a big Kyrie fan, but I just want to give Kyrie, at least at one point, he was the second best player on a championship team. But I don't know. Third?
I'm kidding.
It's the flat Earth.
Kevin Love
and all the weird stuff on social media. He's penis cancer.
No Shave November for one more day.
Dude,
no, we're not calling him penis cancer. I'm sorry.
Yes, we are.
Yeah, we are.
No, we're not.
Come on.
We're not. We've talked about it. We're not talking about genitalia
We call him
on the show, love.
I did not come up with that personally. I wish I would have.
Okay, so let's talk a little. Since we're talking about the Mavs, let's go ahead and slide over into that. And I was actually about to say that too.
Wait,
his handles are ridiculous.
Best ball handling finisher in the NBA.
Can I hear Steve's take on the matchups real quick?
Oh, sure, yeah, of course. You want to talk about the in-season matchups?
Suns over Lakers, Kings over Pelicans, Bucks, Celtics, Kings, Bucks, Kings.
Interesting. Kings, Bucks, Kings. Okay.
Kings finally win a championship.
Yeah.
And it's the in season.
You know they're handing this to LeBron.
No, the Suns are going to beat them, and if they don't, the Kings will. Steve, the Kings are a really good team. The Kings
handing it right to LeBron. So when he finally retires, they can be like, he led his team to the inaugural in-season tournament.
So I have the Celtics over the Suns, but Steve, you know it'd be funny if it was Lakers Kings and they did a 2002 NBA Finals blunder again.
Western Conference Finals, but yes, I know what you mean. Yeah,
Conference Finals, yeah.
And those Laker Kings Western Conference Finals back in the day were awesome.
Oh, the Tim Donaghy Western Conference Finals.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh, yeah. Now, so if nobody has actually,
Mike Bibby, Page of Kings were good.
They were, and if nobody has, if you haven't seen the Untold on Netflix about Tim Donaghy, so good, so good. And we've already had a clash this season with Scott Foster versus CP3. So and that is part of that as well, part of that little Untold episode. Very good, very good.
Tim Donaghy's interview on Vlad TV is really good as well.
Ooh, I don't know if I've seen that one.
It's good.
Let's check it out. Steve, what are you drinking?
A little all-day IPA. Founders.
What jersey are you wearing? I can't tell if it's an Old Pistons or a Knicks.
Oh no, it's a Rodman. It's a Rodman Piston jersey. Yeah, it's a Rodman Pistons jersey. And then of course I have, I did a. If we were talking about, is that? Oh my goodness. And since I turned the game on, South Carolina went from down 7 to up 7 to North Carolina. It's actually been a really good game. I'm trying to watch 5 things at once, but I love it. I love it.
Nice play, Zach.
Oh, and Tony, I absolutely agree. I don't think Scott Foster should be allowed to be a ref in the league anymore.
No, absolutely not.
All right. So what do we think about the sale of the Mavericks? Basically, Mark Cuban still has a minority stake in the team. He still has complete control over basketball operations. He's just $3.6 billion richer.
He's playing chess and everybody else is playing checkers.
Exactly.
So there's an undertone to this that actually says that the reason that he kind of stepped down from the majority stake is so that they can bring in-state gambling to Texas.
Yeah, supposedly
because we don't have sports gambling here in Texas.
They want.
You want me to place a bet for you right now? I can do it from my phone right now here in Michigan, Megan. If you want, I can bet right now.
Here's what I'm thinking, and this just dawned on me an hour ago. I think he's trying to get into the NFL owner's box.
Oh, that's interesting. That's really interesting.
He already announced that he was stepping down from Shark Tank too, right?
Yes. Hold on one second, guys. All right, we have one more guest. We got Coach Dante here. What's up?
Dante's in the building.
Dante.
What's good, y'all? How y'all doing?
How are you?
I'm doing good.
Good. All right. So right now we are talking about Mark Cuban and the sale of the Mavericks. Will, I'm going to let you go, and then Coach Dante after that.
So, what supposedly, yes, he's trying to get in-state gambling for Texas. He what's it called? Supposedly he wants an arena with a casino in it or right next to it. So yeah, I agree with Steve. He's playing chess. He's for sure playing chess.
Coach, your thoughts on it?
I agree with everybody saying I believe he's just playing chess, man. I don't think he's talking this here. I just believe he's playing chess.
Okay. I mean, and because when you still have a minority stake and you're still completely in charge of basketball operations, what really changes except for your bank account?
Yep.
But my question is, does it really equate to, because does it really work out that way? Does he really get to run basketball operations the way that he says? Because now there's a new owner, right? Let's say they come in and they don't like how he drafts next year. Is that going to become a problem?
Yep.
True.
Okay.
I mean, is there any like hard and fast rules about majority ownership and control over personnel decisions?
I'm not really sure. I would assume, and obviously that's not me having the facts. It's just an assumption. Unless it's in the contract, I wonder how things could go because, we've seen with the Broncos, for example, they got a new owner, somebody tied to Walmart, right?
Yep.
And things changed drastically for them over the last couple of years, and they started moving in their own personnel and their own staff. Does that happen here?
True. That's a big question.
I was looking for the clip on The Simpsons with Mark Cuban, but they're all like way too long. So I was going to send it to you and be like, show this. Have you ever seen that? Have any of y'all ever seen that?
The what?
Mark Cuban on The Simpsons?
Yeah, I've seen it.
I think I have.
All right, guys. Well, we have had some really exciting NCAA basketball. So, as we know, since the last show that we did, which was 3 weeks ago? Was it 3 weeks ago or 2 weeks ago? There has been all kinds of drama in LSU over there. Now, Angel Reese rejoined her team. Was it today? She missed a total of 4 games. Seems, and there's no facts out about this. So, it seems like grades probably was the problem, timing wise.
Yeah.
What has happened in the NCAA over the past couple of weeks that has stuck out to you? Whether it was an upset, whether it's men's or women's basketball. Coach Dante, you want to start us off?
Yeah. I'm gonna go with an upset. I'm gonna go with again another one of these small schools. I mean, again, when you look at them in the NCAA tournament, man, some of these schools can make it upset. But been a lot of upsets, definitely in men's basketball. St. Joe's over Villanova this weekend. St. Joe's, pretty good squad,
right?
Over there. And you have Arkansas beating Duke as well. Arkansas is always tough. Their head coach is really good. Eric Musselman, he knows how to play. He knows how good his team is, especially Arkansas in a tournament. They normally go deep into the Sweet 16. I believe last year they went to the League 8. So again, St. Joe's and Arkansas. And St. Joe's and Arkansas. And also one more, you have Georgia Tech beating Mississippi State as well. Number 21 Mississippi State. Again, it's just shows you, man. Any given Saturday, any given day in college basketball, upsets happen every day in basketball. Right. When you have to go in a tournament and play a team like St. Joe's, James Madison, those teams can be tough to beat, man. Those teams can be really tough.
Absolutely. So, Steve, you want to talk a little bit about the NCAA?
Yeah, and I'll talk about it more big picture than certain examples. But for me, because there is so many games, and you do have obviously a couple things. Obviously, one, the transfer portal, and two, because of the one and dones for most of the high majors, usually a team like a St. Joe's or some of those other, mid majors of whatever. I graduated from CMU, so I guess mid majors is what I love. But those types of schools, because usually their best players are juniors and seniors, where the big boys, quote unquote blue bloods, best players are freshmen. So, and especially now with the transfer portal, you might be a grad student. You could have a 24-year-old going against an 18-year-old. And that's a big difference body-wise, maturity-wise, basketball IQ-wise. So that's where I think you're going to see a lot of those. For me, I like to look at, because like even like here in Michigan, Oakland just beat Xavier the other day. To a couple of my friends. Well, Greg Campy, their coach, is actually the longest active D1 coach in the country. But my boy Schmitty is an assistant coach there. My boy DJ is an assistant coach there. So shout out to those guys on that big win. But I like to look at something that just happened last night in a women's game where Notre Dame goes to Tennessee and wins.
Great game.
Absolutely. And then the other night where Kentucky, now granted it was at Kentucky, but they beat the living snot out of Miami, who was and they were 17. So those are the upsets, if you will, that I pay more attention to, because when a non-mid-major beats a mid-major, we're excited about it, but 2 days later, nobody remembers it. Nobody's going to talk about it. But if down tournament time, when we start talking about seeding, if Notre Dame's they did lose, they get their butts kicked by South Carolina, you're like, but then they went on the road and beat 10. Those are the games. Kentucky. They lost a couple games early. But they beat Miami by 30. Those are the games that can help you. So those are the games that I kind of pay a little bit more attention to. When a top 10 team loses to a top 25 team by 15, 18 points, those are the ones that I kind of pay a little bit more attention to.
Okay. Well, we did have one upset just now. We had the Arkansas Razorback ladies beat FSU 71-58. FSU, the 15 seed. Arkansas, non-ranked.
Gotcha.
All right, Dom. Anything NCAA you want to talk about?
Well, I mean, anytime that the University of Alabama takes place in any sport, any sort of athletic contest, and
that was the one. That was my favorite one too.
It's a win for us. They've lost to Clemson and Ohio State. I think they're still ranked. And
I'm sure that'll change come Monday.
Right. The other one that I saw was Colorado State beating Creighton, but now Colorado State is ranked and still unbeaten.
And they beat Colorado, right?
Yep.
So big time for them.
In college basketball and football, you can't necessarily give a whole lot of credence into early season, upsets, quote unquote, because other than 5-6 teams from the Big Ten making the tournament, there's not really a whole lot you can count on.
I mean, it is early. It's preseason. We know it's tournament time, non-conference play. But it does lead to, like Steve said, to the seeding going into March. It does matter. These games, for Texas, for example, Texas, they're 8-0 right now, right? But they haven't played anybody. Our most recent victory was against Oral Roberts last night. I think we won 112-74, 76, something like that. I would say more of a victory in that, we're expected to win that game, but getting over 100 points, that's where I feel the victory. Not necessarily in beating that team, but seeing what we're able to do. The stats that Rory Harmon put out, double digits in assists, double digits in points. She had a triple-double. We had a young lady named Taylor who's playing really well as well, but we haven't played anybody. Come Sunday, though, we're going to play the number 11 seed. We're going to be playing UConn this Sunday. Super excited for that matchup. That will be me and Will versus each other. Will is a UConn guy.
Me, you and Will. I'm a diehard Longhorn fan.
Okay, yeah. Texas.
You know what stinks about that matchup is because I have to miss it. I have to work all day.
Well, I think it's going to be an excellent game. This is one where I feel like we will obviously this is a measuring stick game for Texas. Now, last year we did match up with UConn last year, and even without Paige Beckers and Azzy Fudd, UConn was able to get the job done. I don't remember the exact score, but it was not a double-digit win. It was single digits. I think we lost by like 8 or 9. Still a solid win for UConn, though. I don't know that UConn wins it this year.
No, I don't think we do. Honestly, I don't think we do. I really don't. I love Alyssa Edwards and I love Paige and Nika Mule, but those guys are going to have to be on. Those guys are going to have like 20+ points per game and be almost near like perfect to win that game.
And it's in Austin. It's in Austin too. So
it is in Austin. It is in Austin. So that plays a factor. We last year, Rory Harmon was playing injured quite a bit. Aaliyah Moore was out. She had a torn ACL. So Aaliyah Moore is back. And we've had some great signings over this off season as well. So, you know, and I don't know if everybody saw this, but we had Aaliyah Chavez visit Texas also. So if we can sign Aaliyah, oh my goodness. Now, obviously that'll come after Rory graduates. Rory is in her junior year, as is Aaliyah. So Aaliyah would not play until.
Do you think Rory will declare this year for the draft?
I don't. I think that she'll wait until next year. So I think she does really well, and I think she's continuing to grow her game. There's still some areas that she needs to work on, and I think that we're going to see her take advantage as much as possible of her college career and with her coach, because Vic Schaefer is an excellent coach. On top of his daughter's one of the assistant coach. On top of Sydney Carter's one of their player developmental coaches. So why would you not take advantage? I see you smiling, Steve. Yes, she's pretty.
I see Sydney Carter. Yep.
Mm-hmm. Who? She's a pretty chick, but she's also incredibly smart and a great player and a good coach. And why would you not take advantage of that, growing your game? Like, forget the NIL deals. Like, okay, so Will and I were talking about this before the show, right? And I want to preface this by saying, you know, we've talked a lot about Angel Reese and the drama there in LSU. I absolutely believe that we need to be talking about Josh Giddey 10 times more. That is absolutely something that needs to be criticized a lot more. We sat there and criticized the young lady, which it's news. We're going to talk about it, obviously, but you got to know the depth and the severity of these situations, and for the amount of backlash that Angel Reese received compared to Josh Giddey is unbelievable.
Yeah. And I don't know about everybody else. I know Megan has a daughter. I have a daughter. In fact, my daughter's 16. So and obviously we don't know, because now the thing that the family's not cooperating with the investigation with. So again, maybe she's 20. I don't know, but like all of it just doesn't, because I know me personally as a father, even if a 19-year-old, heck, even if an 18-year-old was, you know, had sexual relations with my 16-year-old daughter, there would be some words, and there wouldn't be many words. Sure. There'd be somebody bloody. So like, I'm just saying. So the fact that that's kind of been like, we're just going to let him still play. And
yeah, no, I don't agree with it.
I hope it's not just because one of them's not African-American and the other one is, because Josh, obviously he's not American, but he's not.
He's an Aussie.
He's an Aussie, but he's not. So hopefully it's not just that simple, and that's why we're not talking about it. Because for whatever reason, the media just loves, this is a very blanket statement, but it's true. The media loves to belittle, especially African-American women, but all women. But we just wait. Yeah, we just wait to like, see, told you. Oh, she's failing a class, or oh, she had a fight with someone in a locker room. I mean, whatever. Oh, they're two, you know, her and her mom and the other player's mom are fighting on Twitter. Like
the amount of news coverage that storyline had compared to Josh Giddey is just insane to me. But going back to my point here, the talk about Angel was that she's not going to go into the draft because she makes so much money with her NIL deal, right? Angel can't go into the draft this year because she doesn't have the skill set to go into the draft this year. Let's be real. I think she's incredibly talented. She doesn't have a jumper. Like that. Let's just be real. She doesn't have a jumper. What Cheryl Swoops said about Angel was correct. She needs to stay another year, not only clock her dollars, because ain't nobody hating on that. Make your money. Because you're gonna, it's not, and it's not a pay cut going to the WNBA, because your endorsement deals don't just diminish when you become a professional. Clearly, you're probably going to be walking into a better deal becoming a professional. You're just not going to be making that kind of money actually from the WNBA, but you're going to be making that money off of your play in the WNBA. But she needs to capitalize on the coach that she has. Am I a Kim Mulkey fan? No. Is she a winner? Yes. Like, she needs to sit there, and there's other people on that coaching staff. If she doesn't connect with Mulkey like that, she needs to find an assistant coach that can get her right and start figuring out her skill set and how to translate to the WNBA. Because Charlie Collier, number 1 pick from Texas a few years ago, did not translate to the WNBA.
Yeah.
Like, it just didn't happen.
Yeah.
Right. It just didn't happen. So I see that happening to Angel if she doesn't take her skill, widening her skill set. I can see that happening.
It's by far the toughest professional sports league in America, at least,
for sure,
to be good right away in, just because of how, right. I mean, how little, few of teams, whatever, but it's the toughest. I mean, top 10 picks get cut. Like, I mean, it's the toughest league in America to make it as a rookie or younger player.
I mean, there was a lot of good players who got selected this year in the WNBA draft, man. And you think about Bree Beal, who I actually like as a player. She was selected in the top half of the WNBA draft, and she got cut. It was another the one that played for Virginia Tech. I thought she played well in preseason for the Chicago Sky, and she ended up getting cut. So it was a lot of top 10 players in the WNBA draft that got cut, that really got cut, and I kind of feel bad for it. That's why I kind of wanted expansion for the WNBA as well, so some of these players can actually, that is good, that deserve to play on a WNBA roster.
Right. So, and I agree with that too. Go ahead, Will.
Bring back the shock.
When we circle back around, I'm gonna name my favorite upset, but no rush.
Oh, okay. Dom, what were we saying? NCAA stuff?
Yeah.
What?
So were we on you for the NCAA stuff? I'm confused.
No, you already got me.
Okay.
Definitely looking forward to that Virginia Tech LSU matchup. Man,
Virginia Tech is so good this year. So I don't know if y'all have had a chance to watch them, but they are so saucy with their assists. Like, they look like a well-oiled machine. Which, don't get me wrong, we know their coach. We know that we know the type of coach that they have over there. But man, they look good this year.
They so talented. The guard Amor is so good, and that center is really good, man. They look like a scary team in the tournament.
Were they playing the regional finals last year?
They played in the Final Four.
Yeah, they were a Final Four.
They were in the Final Four.
Oh.
Okay, Will, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm just gonna say my favorite upset for the guys. Everyone went over the women's upset. I'm gonna say number 10 FAU losing to Bryant.
Okay.
A school like Bryant. Who would have thought?
I mean, it happens. One of my sleeper teams, and I had the, I'll say, pleasure of being able to cover them last season in the NIT tournament, is Texas Tech. Now, y'all know I'm a Texas fan, but, to remain objective, I do cover Tech because they're only an hour and a half away from me. They do have Krista Gerlich as their coach, who was a part of that championship team with Cheryl Swoops. She is... I would say that, the program kind of went downhill. But what I saw last year in the NIT, now they made it to the Sweet 16. I don't think they went any further than that. And then they also have a young lady that is from our area, Bailey Maupin. If you get a chance to watch her, she's incredibly talented. Kind of like, she doesn't quite have the shot that Caitlin has, but man, she's good. She's a great 3-point shooter. She has great ball handling skills. She's like Caitlin, but the tier below.
Okay.
So if you get a chance to watch some Texas Tech games, I think that they're really good. And they're having an incredible start to their season as well. Now, next year, we got to enjoy the tournament this year as it is, because next year everything changes with conference realignments.
Yeah.
Right. Like, I can't imagine. I don't even know what it's going to be like. We're not going to have the Pac-12 anymore, guys, in women's basketball.
That's terrible.
14 teams of the Big Ten get into the tournament. There's 18 of them.
Yeah. 14 get in, 12 lose in the first round.
Okay, but now we're gonna have Texas and OU, both great women's basketball programs right now, right? We're gonna have them in the SEC. We're gonna have them playing South Carolina. We're gonna have them playing Alabama. Like, that's exciting. That is exciting. Now, in Stanford, they're going to the ACC. Is that right?
Yep.
Does that not seem like the perfect fit?
It does.
And really, the Longhorns men's, we projected to be third in the Big 12 because you already know Houston is a good basketball team.
They are great.
And they went to the League 8 last year. And plus we got Kansas, who has Hunter Dickinson, and they got an experienced guard, Jaquan Harris and Kevin McCullough. So we are projected to finish third in the Big 12, but we already know how tough the Big 12 was last year. And then you ain't got to say no more for the women's side. We got to go through South Carolina, my goodness, LSU, my goodness. Yeah, we got a scary. That's in women's division. We got to go through a scary conference. We got to go through, really.
But to me, I feel like you got to play the best, or you got to play the best to be the best. Like, so for me, I feel like that sets us up for a really exciting regular season conference play. Like, I'm super excited.
Oh, yeah.
It's Texas. They'll blow it.
Fuck off. What's everybody drinking?
Nothing.
I'm drinking me a Dr. Pepper.
Okay, Dr. Pepper.
Amen, brother.
No, take a shot for that rude ass comment.
It's going to be real shitty if y'all beat Oklahoma State this week and then get left out.
Okay, we're not talking football, though. We're talking women's basketball.
Quinn Ewers is
I don't know what's going to happen if we're talking about that. I really don't know what's going to happen with the committee.
Is this not, especially in the last year of the 4-team CFP, is this not the prime opportunity for them to go where I said they should have went 10 years ago, 6 teams? Somebody's getting hoed.
Oh, for sure. No, like the only way that it's a perfect selection is if the 4 undefeated teams make it. You know what I mean? Like that's the only scenario where we're all not going to sit there and feel like somebody, but they have to win their game. They have to win their conference championships in order for that to happen. Right. And we don't know if that's going to happen. Do we think Oregon's going to beat Washington? We can talk a little football. We think Oregon's going to beat Washington?
Yes, they will.
Yeah.
That's what
they're 9.5-point favorites.
Florida State is going to win their game.
They're going to be.
But Washington's ranked higher. Is that not right? Washington's ranked higher.
Matter of fact, who's Florida State playing?
Louisville.
Oh man, do they still got Travis?
His career's over. He already said.
I think they got an outside shot, but I will pick Florida State. But I think Louisville can make it tough. I actually think Louisville.
I do think Louisville can make it tough. Those are the two games that because we do pick'ems. Those are the two games that I had question marks about. Like I feel like Texas, they're gonna win their game, but I think we probably don't make the playoffs. I mean, I would love for us to make the playoffs, but y'all know how the committee is. They love Alabama, they love OSU, and they love Michigan. So
how do you leave Texas out if Bama wins?
No, that's gonna be the crazy part is if Bama
wins, the committee does whatever the fuck they want to do.
Yeah, if Bama wins, and then if Oregon beats Washington in a close game, and Florida State barely beats Louisville like in a close game, I could see the committee saying, "Well, based on how the teams are playing right now," and they literally would leave an undefeated Florida State team out for a one-loss SEC champion.
Because they could leave FSU out just because they don't have their quarterback.
Exactly.
And that's how they'll justify
it. Debate between best teams and most deserving teams.
Yeah. Bama should have lost. Bama should have lost last week.
But as Andy Katz always, or Andy Katz, as Jay Billis always says after Selection Sunday, if a team that shouldn't have got in then makes the Sweet 16, it doesn't mean that they still should have gotten in. They still shouldn't have got in because their resume did not deserve them to get in. Like, if you're undefeated in a Power 5 conference, you deserve to be in unless there's more than 4 of you. And then you got to make a choice.
This is why it should be 6 teams and no Power 5. Like European soccer. Every year the shittiest conference gets relegated out.
Yep.
But it would have been the ACC. So Florida State wouldn't even be an issue. So that solves that problem.
And every year,
of all the one-loss teams, if you end up with a bunch of one-loss teams,
champion jumps up.
The one that should get in is Ohio State.
Oh man, this is going to be a mess, and even next year is going to be even crazier because how many?
My fault. Ohio State is not even in a Pac-12, not even in a championship game, right?
No, it's Michigan. Iowa.
What they will be like if it's somehow
they have one loss.
They have one loss.
The number 1 or the number 2 team.
So I guess like they will favor them in. They would definitely favor them in over Texas if it gets down.
Yeah.
So they will because Ohio State, you remember a couple of years ago, they did not win. They did not win their conference, and they still got voted. Matter of fact, that was the year that they played Georgia.
Last year.
They played Georgia. Yeah.
Last year. Michigan beat them at Ohio State, and then they still got in.
They still got in. Yeah.
TCU didn't win their championship last year, and you see how they made.
Yeah, they did fine. Because truthfully, if we're just, and I'm not saying this because I'm trying to kiss up to Megan, Texas has the best win of the year. Like, I know it was early. It was early in the year. Yes,
it's Michigan.
It was early in the year. No, because that was at home. That was at home.
That was in Tuscaloosa too. When we beat Alabama.
Going to Alabama, beating Alabama is the best win of the year. If you're just, that's the best win of the year. Like, but if you say, oh, it matters when you beat them, like they're playing better now, like that's what the committee's going to say. But their resume, Texas has the best win of the year. But they're going to be left out, and Megan's going to be mad. And
our resume is pretty good, man. Our resume.
If we get left out, of course, I'm going to be a little salty, but I'm not going to be surprised. And then our chances next year is going to be really tough in the SEC. So we shall see. Is there anything else basketball that y'all want to touch on before we go?
No, I'm good.
Good comeback win for South Carolina against North Carolina at UNC. Shout out to Dawn Staley, still doing her thing. I'm watching Vodtech at LSU, where Vodtech is up 7 at LSU right now. About to be the end of the first quarter. The Pistons are trying to win their first game this month and third game of the season, and actually have a close game against the Knicks. They're only down 2 with 10 minutes to go. That's a win for us. I feel like we should get a point in the standings. And everybody else be good. I hope you had a great Thanksgiving. It's awesome to talk hoops always with you three, and of course Megan, the hostess with the mostest.
Y'all ain't won a game in a month?
No.
They've won 2 games all year. They got a 14 game
started out 2-1.
Just so you know.
No, look, and I'm not laughing at y'all. We only got 3 wins too.
Here's a fun stat of the day for you. And I'm not a Lions fan, but I saw this stat, so I'll share it. In the entire 2023 calendar year, the Pistons have 9 wins. The Lions have 10 this season.
Oh my God. That's rough. Well, I guess I'll leave us on a quote from Dawn Staley. I felt like she had the quote of the year. We're coming to the end, pretty close to the end of the year. She said, the problem is y'all got league dreams with backyard work ethic, and your parents applaud it. Well, there you go.
Awesome.
Any other shout outs, guys?
Nope.
All right. Well, that does it for us this week for the Sip Off. We will be back next week. Thank you, everybody who commented, shared the show. Appreciate y'all. And we will see you back next Thursday.
See y'all.